Very good evening to you all, my dear students. And in today's lecture, we are going to discuss with our third question of the first unit, that is the topic of what do you mean by precautionary principle and polluter pays principle and public trust doctrine. So, these are the three principles which are commonly asked in examination by the Lucknow University, and what are the points we have to go through. First is Precautionary Principles, Center for International Environmental Law, 1991, Earth Summit of Rio in 1992, and the cases are Andhra Pradesh Pollution Control Board versus Professor M.V. Naidu and others, etc. The Narmada Bachao Andolan, etc. versus Union of India and others, AIR 2000, Supreme Court. The Samatha versus State of Andhra Pradesh and others, AIR 1997, Supreme Court. These cases are dealt with under the point that is the precautionary principle. And the second principle is the polluter pays principle, in which we have to deal with Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development 1972, principle number 16 of Rio Declaration, and cases are Vellore Citizen Welfare Farm versus Union of India and others, 1996, Supreme Court. The other important case is MC Mehta versus Union of India and others, 1977, SCC. And the other case is MC Mehta versus Union of India, AIR 1987, Supreme Court. And the third principle which we have to deal with, the doctrine of public trust in India, and under which we have to go through from the Article 48A and 51A of Indian Constitution, and the cases are MC Mehta versus Kamal Nath and others, and next is Majara Singh versus Indian Oil Corporation. So let us see what is the precautionary principle. We will start from the first principle, that is precautionary principle in the environmental protection. The environmental measures must anticipate, prevent and attach the causes of environmental degradation. The main purpose of precautionary principle is to ensure that a substance or activity posing a threat to environment is prevented from adversely affecting the environment. Okay, so precautionary principle is what? It is a environmental measure which prevents and attach the causes of environmental degradation, and the main purpose of precautionary principle is to ensure that a substance or activity posing a threat to environment is prevented from adversely affecting the environment. The precautionary principle as it appears in a draft convention for the conservation and wise use of forests prepared by the Center for International Environmental Law is in the following form. The precautionary principle means the principle of establishing a duty to take such measures that anticipate, prevent and attack the causes of environmental degradation where there is sufficient evidence to identify a threat of serious or irreversible harm to the environment if there is not yet scientific proof that the environment is being harmed. Okay, so next is in 1991 the Caring for the Earth document emphasized that precautionary principle be made on the basis of decision on development and environment, and the Earth Summit of Rio Declaration in 1992 recognized the precautionary principle, giving it utmost importance. So, Rio Declaration does not see any difference in sustainable development and precautionary principle, and principle number 15 of this article about the Rio Declaration expresses the expectation that governments will apply the precautionary principle widely according to the ability. So, it is the discretion over the governments, states, that principle number 15 of Rio Declaration, the expectation is that the governments will apply the precautionary principle widely according to the ability. In Rio Declaration, there was unanimity on the point that the scientific uncertainty would not be allowed to become an excuse for deferring environmental protection measures. Okay, dear students, and in the case of Andhra Pradesh Pollution Control Board versus Professor M.V. Naidu and others, etc., AIR 1999 Supreme Court, irreversible harm, extinction of species, toxic pollutions, these are held to be harmful for the environment, and the precautionary principle was applied by the court. Okay, in the case of Narmada Bachao Andolan etc. versus Union of India, in the Samatha versus State of Andhra Pradesh and others, industry and state both should ensure environment protection and prevent degradation. So it was the decision held by the court. Okay, in context of polluter pays, in context of precautionary principle. Okay, so it's all about the precautionary principle. It was the first principle in context of environment protection. Next is polluter pays principle as interpreted by Supreme Court of India. The polluter pays principle means that the absolute liability for harm to the environment extends not only to compensate the victims of pollution but also the cost of restoring the environmental degradation. And the member countries of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, that is OECD, agreed in 1972 to base their environmental policies on a polluter pays principle, that is PPP. The guidelines laid down by OECD were designed to discourage, subsidize that could to distortions in trade. They sought to promote the principle when there was great public interest in environmental issues, and despite the difficulties inherent in defining the principle, it has been accepted by Rio Declaration, and the principle number 16 of Rio Declaration provides that the national authorities should endeavor to promote the internationalization of environmental cost and use of economic instruments, taking into account the approach that the polluter should in principle bear the cost of remedies with due regard to the public interest and without distorting international trade and investment. Okay, so it was the principle number 16 of Rio Declaration, which provides that the national authorities should endeavor to promote the internationalization of environmental cost and use of economic instruments, taking into account the approach that the polluter should in principle bear the cost of remedies with due regard to the public interest and without distorting international trade and investment. In the case of Vellore Citizen Welfare Farm versus Union of India and others, AIR 1996, the Supreme Court, the remediation of the damaged environment was given. And in the MC Mehta versus Union of India and others, 1977, discharging toxic influents all over area, deposit 25% of land price to board and shift to new setup of government. It was held in this case by the court. Okay, and the next principle is doctrine of public trust in India. So what is the public trust? The public trust doctrine has its origin in Roman laws, and it has been extended in recent years, placing a duty on the state to hold environmental resources in trust for the benefit of the public. At its widest, it could be used by the courts as a tool to protect the environment from many kinds of degradation, and in some countries, the doctrine has formed the basis of environmental policy legislation, allowing private rights of action by citizens for violations by the state, either it is directly or it is indirectly of the public interest. Okay, so the public trust doctrine has its origin in Roman law, and in recent years it has been extended, imposing a duty over the state to hold environmental resources in trust for the purpose of benefit of public. Okay, and the rule of law runs close to the rule of life, and the Indian Constitution in its humanist vision has made environmental ecological preservation a fundamental value, and the higher jurisprudence of Article 21 of Constitution, that is right to life and personal liberty, embraces the protection and preservation of nature's gift, without which life ceases to be viable and human rights become a simulacrum. Okay, and in other words, this right to life under Article 21 has been extended to include the right to a healthy environment and the right to livelihood as well. The third aspect of right to life is the application of public trust doctrine to protect and preserve the public land. When the Indian courts have applied the public trust doctrine, they have considered it not only as an international law concept, but one which is well established in their national legal system. In accepting public trust doctrine as a part of common law, the Indian courts have applied this explicitly in three recent cases. The first one in 1997, second was in 1999, including the cases under consideration. Article 48A and 51A of Constitution also furnish the principle of jurisprudence, which are fundamental to our governance under the rule of law. The doctrine is first mentioned in MC Mehta versus Kamal Nath and others, where the Indian Supreme Court applied public trust doctrine with regard to the protection and preservation of natural resources. And in this case, the court observed that our Indian legal system, which is based on English common law, includes the public trust doctrine as a part of its jurisprudence. The state is the trustee of all natural resources which are by nature meant for public use and their enjoyment. Okay, and public at large is a beneficiary of seashore, running waters, airs, forest, ecologically fragile lands, and the state as a trustee is under a legal duty to protect the natural resources. And these resources meant for the public use cannot be converted into private ownership. Very important decision held in the case of MC Mehta versus Kamal Nath, that is, the state as a trustee is under a legal duty to protect the natural resources, and these resources meant for public use cannot be converted into private ownership of the state, such as rivers, forest, minerals, and other resources constitute a nation's natural wealth. These resources are not to be frittered away and exhausted by any one generation, and every generation owes a duty to all succeeding generations to develop and conserve the natural resources of nation in the best possible way. The next important case is Majara Singh versus Indian Oil Corporation. In this case, the petitioner objected to the location of a plant for filling the cylinders with liquefied petroleum gas, that is LPG, it was held that the High Court can only examine whether authorities have taken all precautions with a view to see that laws dealing with environment and pollution have been given due care and attention. The next case is MI Builders versus Radheshyam Sahu. In this case, the Supreme Court has applied public trust doctrine, and the Lucknow Nagar Mahapalika, that is Lucknow City Corporation, granted permission to a private builder to construct an underground shopping complex was against the Municipal Act and Master Plan of City of Lucknow, and the builder was supposed to develop the site at its own cost and then to realize the cost with profit not exceeding more than 10% of investment in respect of each shop. And under the terms of agreement, full freedom was given to the builder to lease out the shops as per its own terms and conditions to the persons of its choice on behalf of the Mahapalika. The builder was also given the right to sign the agreement on behalf of the Mahapalika and was only required to a copy to Mahapalika after its execution. Both the builder and Mahapalika were to be bound by the terms of that agreement. And when the matter was challenged, the High Court set aside and quashed the agreement between Mahapalika and the builder and relevant order of Mahapalika permitting such construction. The court ordered Mahapalika to restore the park to its original position within a period of 3 months from the date of its judgment. So the agreement was opposed to public policy and not in public interest. And Mahapalika allowed the commercial shopping complex to be built upon a public park in clear defiance of the Uttar Pradesh Municipal Corporation Adhiniyam 1959, and in addition the Mahapalika violated the public trust doctrine, and the court ordered the demolition of unauthorized shopping complex. Conclusion is what? Conclusion is, from the above discussion on the doctrine and various case laws, it is evident that the state is not the owner of natural resources in the country but a trustee who holds fiduciary relationship with the people, and by accepting this task the government is expected to be loyal to the interest of its citizens and to discharge its duty with the interest of citizens at heart and involve them in decision making process concerning the management of natural resources in the country. The public trust doctrine may provide the means for increasing the effectiveness of environmental impact assessment laws. Thus, under this doctrine, the state has a duty as a trustee under Article 48A to protect and improve the environment and safeguard the forest and wildlife of the country. While applying Article 21, that is right to life, the state is obliged to take account of Article 48A of Directive Principle of State Policy, and the state's trusteeship duties has been expanded to include a right to a healthy environment. So from this topic, our first unit is over, and I hope you all yes, I hope you all got my point as I wanted to explain in this video. Thank you for watching.